Never before in a film have I gone through food feelings as I did with this movie. At first I was just pissed off by the pretentiousness of the food and how little they served. And then I was grossed out by certain dishes, and then I was made to feel ravenous because of what was displayed on the screens. It certainly was a visual feast. Hi, my name's Ruben, and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. Today I'm diving deep into Amazon Studios' latest thriller, House of Spoils. Plot centers around an ambitious chef played by Ariana DeBose, who sets out to open her own farm-to-table restaurant. The real twist is in the estate she's operating from. It's haunted by a spirit of its previous owner, making her culinary dreams a supernatural nightmare. If you're thinking the menu vibes but more ghostly, you're in the ballpark. But does it hold up? Let's start with talking about the acting, and Ariana DeBose really brings it here. She's intense, committed, and nails that obsessive energy a chef really needs to have. She goes big in this role, and while some have said she might be overacting a bit, I actually think she's delivering exactly what the script requires. Unfortunately, the movie itself doesn't always meet her halfway, so at times her performance feels like it's in a different gear to the rest of the film. Barbara Ferreira as her sous chef Lucia plays well off of her, adding some tension and balance, but the movie could have used a lot more depth to their dynamic. Now, the direction by Bridget Savage Cole and Danielle Crudy, I was really intrigued by what these two gave us in Blow the Man Down. Here though, it feels like they didn't quite lean into the horror aspect of things. The film has the potential to be really unsettling, but never really gets there. It wants to be both high-stakes kitchen thriller and supernatural ghost story, but it doesn't really succeed in blending these two worlds. The spooky vibes are there, but I wanted more tension, more risk, more creativity in the scares. It feels like the movie is hesitant to get its hands dirty. The cinematography by Eric Lin is atmospheric, with some great use of shadow and light, especially when it comes to the haunted estate. The kitchen scenes are intense and very claustrophobic, making you feel the pressure of running the restaurant. But overall, it's not as visually inventive as other food-related thrillers. For example, compared to something like The Menu or even Burnt, it feels a little less stylized. However, one of the movie's stronger elements is its score by Jim Williams. There's this airy, slow-building tension to the music that keeps you on the edge. It doesn't overpower the scenes, but it lingers in the background, giving the film an ominous tone. A tone that was much needed to help levitate this film to the next plane rather than just being subpar like many films of this genre are. It's probably one of the highlights of the films for me, honestly. Themes-wise, House of Spoils is about pressure, both professional and personal. It digs into the fear of failure, the obsession with perfection in the culinary arts, and the sacrifices chefs make to chase their dreams. There's a cool theme about connecting back to the land through food. But again, it just feels like the movie pulls back just when it should be pushing forward. It reminds me of Whiplash, but if you replace the drumming with cooking and added a ghost. As far as comparisons go, if you're into food-related thrillers like The Menu or even Chef but wish they had a ghostly twist, this might scratch that itch. It's not as sharp or provocative as those films, but there's something unique about the blending of the restaurant world with supernatural horror. I don't think it's one that I'll revisit that often, but it's certainly worth that one-time watch. So all in all, I'd say The House of Spoils has some great ingredients, but doesn't quite come together as a fully satisfying dish. I'm giving it 3 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
You got one.
It's worth watching, especially if you're a fan of Ariana DeBose, but it could have been a lot more. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about this in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate your time, your eyeballs, and your earballs. I don't know if that's a thing. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.